Hello and welcome back for day 16 of the World of Wool Advent Calendar Spin Along. I'm Jess and this is Piano Spun Fiber Arts, and this is another day that I just want to jump right into. So let's take a look at bag 16. Day 16 is panettone. The cake, pronounced panettone, not the paint company, pronounced Pantone, that came out with the most boring color of the year this year. But the cake, and we see this Italian Christmas cake on the back of the bag as well, along with these ornaments and just kind of like garnish looking things. So I'm gonna jump right in for day 16 and see what is in here. Day 16 panettone is 50% European wool, 25% sea cell, 25% UK alpaca. Panettone is one of the most recognizable symbols of an Italian Christmas, a tall, domed sweet bread topped with dried fruits and citrus peel, wrapped in golden paper and ribbon, and often shared as a gift between families and friends. Perhaps its origins trace back to Milan in the 15th century, where legend tells of a kitchen mashup turned miracle. A young assistant baker supposedly saved a Christmas banquet by cobbling together leftover dough, sugar, eggs, and raisins, creating what would become panettone. Whether fact or folklore, the result was a rich, airy loaf that has since become a seasonal favorite not just in Italy, but around the world. So, I'm thinking I might see, I keep hoping to see a yarn that has like a white base and then neps of like green and red. I don't know why. It's just in my heart. I feel like that would be a really beautiful yarn combo. European wool, sea cell, and alpaca. I'm thinking this is gonna be a neutral color and the alpaca maybe like a brown. I think that's almost exactly what I'm looking at. So last year our neutrals were a lot of grays. We got a bunch of gray yarns and sort of in a row. This year our neutral selection seems to be more whites, creams, tans, which I'm really more into. So I think I definitely prefer this range of colors. This again has that like humbug feel where it's not super well blended, so we're seeing, you know, bits of alpaca, bits of the UK wool, bits of the sea cell in this kind of striped kind of way. So let's read about why. Traditionally made over several days with a slow rise sourdough, panettone is a true labor of love, fluffy, fragrant, and full of festive spirit. It's enjoyed sliced with coffee, slathered in mascarpone, or lightly toasted for breakfast on Boxing Day. To honor this luxurious loaf, we created a blend that reflects its soft crumb, golden crust, and jewel-like inclusions. European wool forms a base, while sea cell adds a smoothness reminiscent of butter-rich dough. Finally, UK alpaca brings softness and warmth. Delicate yet decadent, this blend is as comforting as the dessert it's named for. I think it's going to be an interesting spin too, because I can already feel how different all those fibers are. So let's do our split. We'll set up the wheel. Oops, I almost put away the wrong bit. We will set up the wheel and get to spinning. I am going to split this pretty fine to try and get a feel for it. I'm not sure what in here is making it feel kind of linen-like, but it does have kind of a linen-y feel. And it's difficult to spin consistently. That is already appearing to be a problem. And the sea cell is just kind of coming through in chunks. I don't think this is going to be one of my preferred spins this year. Although I am seeing a nice halo effect. I think that's coming from the UK wool, whatever that is. Probably a more primitive wool. I keep thinking that I'm spinning nice and consistent, and then it gets such a thin spot. And then suddenly it'll get super thick for a while. I'm gonna stop here and do a plyback sample, but I can already tell that this one is gonna take a ton of my attention, and I'm not gonna enjoy spinning it. It's not an easy spin for me. I might really end up enjoying the yarn. Like even this looks pretty, if not a little thick. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy the process of spinning it. Yeah, if anything, this is a little too thick at the moment, but this one's gonna take me some time. So I'm gonna concentrate on that and I will be back when it is done. So here is our Panettone yarn from day 16. This one turned out a lot more rustic than I was imagining. It's still soft, but I see this kind of halo that there's like a piece right here that is made up of thicker fibers than I would expect for something that has, you know, alpaca and sea cell in it. So it's more rustic than I expected. It's got real hand spun quality. And by that, I mean, it's not like machine perfect. Like some spots are definitely thicker than others. And some spots, the plies just didn't ply super evenly. Like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but one ply is just a little looser than the others. That could be something different in my ply setup. I did ply today in my classroom, or it could be, you know, a quality of this fiber. It's just not what I was expecting with the alpaca and the sea cell. Still really nice. Still nicely Aran weight in most sections. Some sections are a little thin, some sections are a little bulky, but for the most part, we're right where we belong. So I think it's gonna make some really beautiful squares. So far, I have loved all the neutral squares, and I've really loved the rustic looking squares. So I think this might be one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go crochet those up, and I will be back when they are done. So here on day 16, it finally happened. I was only able to crochet 2 of our Panettone squares, and I got this far on number 3. I think this is because of a combination of things. Number 1, I left the G hook that I was using at school, and I started using this one that I found in my house. And this one has a handle, like a built-in thicker handle, whereas my other one does not. It's just one of those like Boyle or Susan Bates ones that is just metal. Something about the handle I think makes me crochet a little looser. Also, I have been kind of consciously or unconsciously aware that some of the squares are just a little small, and I've been worried about how the coat is gonna fit, like if it's gonna be too small. So I think I a little bit unconsciously have been crocheting a little looser, and I think my spinning has gotten a little thicker. I've still been using the wraps per inch tool to check the gauge of the final yarn, but I really have not been using the singles one at all. And I think I've just slowly started making thicker yarns. So I'm gonna have to, I don't wanna overcorrect too much, but I do wanna overcorrect just a little bit, because these squares, some of them are just so much bigger than ones that I made in the beginning. If I put it like corner to corner, you can kind of see the size difference there. So I don't know how much of an issue that'll be when I go to crochet them all together, but I do want to get back to that sort of median size so that I'm not running into too much of an issue, because these have just gotten a little too big. They still look beautiful, and you can feel the alpaca in them, even though they have that kind of rustic hand spun quality to them. So today we only got 2. I'll add 1 to the pile and 1 to the box. And I will see you tomorrow for day 17. See you then. Bye.